The night air was crisp, and the stars glittered above my family's wheat field as I stood by a crackling campfire, skewering a hot dog over the flames. I'd driven out to these 12 acres, inherited from my late grandmother, to escape the grind of my city welding jobs and the insomnia that had plagued me for months. The golden wheat swayed gently in the autumn breeze, promising a rare moment of peace. But that peace shattered when headlights sliced through the darkness, and a police officer's voice boomed, "Pack up that tent and get off this property now." His flashlight blinded me, catching me mid-bite, still clutching my half-cooked hot dog. I was stunned, standing in what I knew was my own land, only to learn that the local HOA had been illegally occupying it for 5 years. They'd built trails, posted signs, even constructed a storage facility on my family's farmland, and now they were calling me a trespasser. The officer, Sergeant Daniels, eyed me warily as a woman in her 50s stepped forward from a sleek SUV, arms crossed, her face a mask of righteous fury. Her name was Laura Hensley, the HOA president, and she claimed this land belonged to her organization, Heritage Hills. She pointed at my modest tent like it was a crime scene, spinning tales of transients and property threats. I tried to explain that I'd inherited this land 6 months ago, fumbling for my ID while still holding that ridiculous hot dog. My driver's license showed a city address, which only deepened Daniel's skepticism. Laura's story sounded rehearsed: years of HOA maintenance, thousands spent on infrastructure, and a wooden sign 50 feet away declaring Heritage Hills property, no trespassing. Worse, a manicured trail cut through my wheat, lined with security cameras that hadn't been there on my last visit. Something was deeply wrong. I showed Daniels the inheritance paperwork from my truck, and his questions to Laura grew sharper. Her answers turned vague, all community agreements, and no hard proof. As she glanced nervously down that trail, I sensed this wasn't her first rodeo. Daniels let me stay the night, but warned us to bring documentation by morning. Laura's glare as she drove off was pure venom, and I barely slept, my mind racing. At dawn, I followed the trail and found a massive storage facility, its door ajar from a storm's gust. Inside wasn't just lawnmowers, it was an office with a humming computer, financial spreadsheets, and a map marking local properties in color-coded schemes. This wasn't a mistake, it was a calculated land grab. The spreadsheets detailed $150 monthly fees from 47 households, totaling over $400,000 in 5 years' money collected for maintenance on my land. Notes flagged residents who'd questioned the charges, like Mrs. Lee asked for legal proof, sent standard denial. Then I found Laura's personal files, $200,000 in medical bills for her late husband, Mark, who died of cancer, tuition for her daughter, Emily, at a pricey college, and letters from Varnov Recovery Services demanding $270,000 in ballooning debt. The map showed my field in red, acquired 2020, $37,000 annual revenue, and 8 other properties marked as targets, with chilling notes like elderly couple, low legal resources, or single mom, no time to fight. Laura wasn't just stealing, she was preying on the vulnerable. I was snapping photos when I heard a car door slam. Laura's voice carried, saying my name, Tom Larson, and the words, "He's a problem." She stepped inside, not angry but weary, her eyes red from crying. Emily, her college-age daughter, waited by the car. "You've seen it all, haven't you?" Laura said, gesturing to the files. The medical bills, the debt collectors, the mess my life's become since Mark died. Her voice broke. She'd started the HOA to fend off Varnov's threats, thinking my unused land was an easy target. I opened TikTok and went live. "This is Tom, and Laura's about to explain why she's claiming my land." Hundreds tuned in as Laura confessed, tears streaming, about the cancer treatments that bankrupted her and the collectors threatening Emily's safety. Comments exploded. Some demanded I call the cops. Others shared their own medical debt horrors. Then my phone rang. A man with a faint accent said, "Tom Larson, you've been streaming for 47 minutes about things that don't concern you. Stop, or you'll regret it." I ended the stream, heart pounding. Laura whispered, "They've never called before. This is bad." Sleep eluded me, and at 3 a.m., I was Googling Varnov, finding whispers of organized crime. A local judge, Ellen Harper, called me to a coffee shop, revealing 12 dropped complaints against Heritage Hills. Families would sue, then mysteriously withdraw, likely intimidated. She showed me cases. The Chun family lost 3 acres and paid $20,000 in fake fees. The Smiths were billed $30,000 for improvements on their own land. My public live stream had made me a target, Harper warned. That night, Laura's number went to voicemail, and the storage facility was locked with new cameras. A note bore Varnov's phone number, property under review. No access. Then a text from an unknown number. Tom, they've taken Emily. Stop investigating, delete your evidence, or she's gone. 24 hours. My hands shook. I couldn't sleep, my mind spiraling. Around 2:30 a.m., I felt an urge to walk outside, but my memory blanks after that. At 6 a.m., the fire department called. The storage facility was ash. My clothes reeked of smoke, ash under my nails, my truck keys misplaced. Security footage showed me pouring gas and lighting the fire at 3 a.m., moving like a zombie. I had no recollection. Fire investigator Captain Torres said it looked like stress-induced sleepwalking, triggered by my insomnia and trauma. Dr. Lisa Wong confirmed it. My brain had acted while I was unconscious, trying to solve an overwhelming problem. But the debris revealed something chilling: gun-detonated bombs set to explode at 4 a.m., enough to kill. Laura had planned to return that morning. My sleepwalking had saved her life, but destroyed our evidence. I was a hero and a suspect, drowning in legal and moral chaos. Then another text from Varnov. Your stunt ruined our plans, but Emily's still ours. Tomorrow, Laura confesses to fraud, and you back her. Mention us, and Emily's gone. I was paralyzed, but Laura appeared at my apartment, resolute. You saved me, Tom, but I've got something they don't know about. She'd recorded every Varnov call and meeting for 6 months: threats, extortion, even bribes to local officials. We planned a second live stream, coordinating with news outlets. At 2 p.m., from the courthouse steps, 50,000 watched as Laura played recordings exposing Varnov as a criminal syndicate. A damning clip revealed a Varnov boss bribing a DA's contact to bury complaints. The chat erupted, demanding FBI action. Midstream, Emily called, her voice trembling. Mom, they're watching. They'll kill me if you don't stop. Viewers screamed for help. Then an FBI agent, Carla Mendez, typed in the chat, we're tracking Emily's signal. Keep them talking. 20 minutes later, sirens blared through Emily's call. Mom, I'm safe, she cried as the FBI stormed in. The live stream's 50,000 viewers cheered. 7 Varnov operatives, a corrupt inspector, and a court clerk were arrested. Laura's recordings sparked federal probes in 12 states. 6 months later, my wheat field was Heritage Community Farm, a nonprofit hub for families fighting predatory debt. Laura, now an advocate, helped victims navigate legal battles. Emily switched to social work, inspired by her mom's redemption. I led support groups for stress-related disorders, my sleepwalking hero, nickname a bittersweet badge. The Chins and Smiths, once victims, joined our monthly barbecues, now feeding 200. Netflix bought our story, but the real victory was inspiring 40 states to launch similar support networks. Federal laws tightened against debt collectors. As I grilled hot dogs under the stars, Laura handed me one, smiling. That night Daniels called you a trespasser? Best thing that ever happened. It saved Emily and built this. Our land, once stolen, now belonged to everyone fighting for justice, a testament to what ordinary people can do when they refuse to stay silent.